To be honest, there's been a lot of remasters of older series as of late that it's been hard to keep track of. Every month or so now, there's an announcement of one popping up. We're now in an era where animation studios have been getting a lot of licenses to give an existing series a chance to be remade. Suffice to say though, the credibility for them is a mixed bag. Some are made out of wanting to correct their mistakes, and some are made for no apparent reason. But despite that, there's still people showing up to check out the revised media. And there are many reasons as to why that is, and honestly, why they should. So what are anime remakes? Well, the name basically says it all, but it's a lot more than that. Ultimately, they're a new way to reimagine and capture the experience of watching the original. Additionally, the same can be said for remasters, which are different. Whilst they offer the same job and purpose with a similar effect, it's vastly different. To put it simply, a remaster is taking the original footage and touching it up to modernize the material. Let's look at One Piece for example. Its most recent property to be exact, the remaster for the Fishman Island arc. It is often referred to as a remake, but it's more accurately a re-edited version of the original broadcast. This is an interesting case to discuss, as whilst the episodes from 2011 were given a fresh coat of paint by improving on the visual quality with new lighting and colors that matches the Wano arc, tweaking the art on the faces of characters, and more importantly the pacing, condensing the entire arc from 57 to 21 episodes. Entire scenes were completely redrawn and even reanimated, like the moment where Luffy uses his haki against the 50,000 fishmen. Besides that, for the most part, the animation and voice lines are intact. It serves its purpose as a remaster, even if some moments were not hitting the same or given the same love from the anime staff initially. That Red Hawk moment has been greatly butchered. That being said, it's unclear how the community feels about watching this over the original for first-time viewers. Whereas something like Dragon Ball Z Kai, it's spoken by the wide majority that that's the superior version to watch for newer fans over the original back in the 90s. Kai may have been given a similar treatment with modernizing the art and animation with vibrant colors and a widescreen format and removing the filler entirely, streamlining the material to match the manga. I would go as far as to say it exceeds a standard remaster, acting as a revision, as both the Japanese and English voice actors wanted to dub over it again to improve on their past performance. Added with the new use of score, it's fair to say Kai is accessible enough to be a substitute, and the definitive version for watching Dragon Ball Z. Obviously, to this day, there's still a rift in the community over which is better, but it's hard to deny this fact. With these two examples provided, whilst remasters are considered to be a remake in some eyes, it's not the traditional sense. Remasters are used as a way to fill in a time slot in between gaps, much like what One Piece did during the anime's hiatus, and to essentially fix the mistakes of the old version with lack of resources. Whereas an actual remake is made from scratch, entirely new character models are made, and everything is reanimated. New use of score, new scenes are added in and removed, and partially rewritten. Even some of the voice actors may be different, and both are greatly needed for the medium. There are many reasons as to why. Filling in of time slots, as we previously mentioned, for one, wanting to improve on past mistakes, and more importantly, welcome in a new audience for the IP they're recreating. It's no doubt anime has gotten unbelievably massive in the past 5 years. With a huge slew of new anime fans wanting to consume more of the medium, it's evident that they eventually would like to experience the older and vastly more popular titles they probably would have heard about but are intimidated by the sheer length of episodes. There's a lot of highly praised remakes that do an amazing job at this. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, Hellsing Ultimate, and Hunter x Hunter to name a few, and what makes these said few to be considered masterpieces are how much they've respected the source material and how much they wanted to improve on the past. Hunter x Hunter's case is a little different, as the 2011 version adapts more of the manga whilst also fixing the color scheme for a lot of the characters. Additionally, not many people knew of the series prior, so this also helped to boost Hunter x Hunter's name across the community and popularized it as one of the must-watch animes, whereas Full Metal and Hellsing, well, it's no surprise that the focal point of an anime is to serve as promotion for the manga. However, since not everyone likes to read, the studios strived to adapt the manga as accurately as possible after they ended. Quite a few offer the same treatment that's worth mentioning. The recent remake of Ranma and Urusei Yatsura, Dororo, Rurouni Kenshin, Spice and Wolf, Trigun Stampede, Fruit Basket, and Sailor Moon. All of which brought in new audiences, improved on the pacing and animation, and adapted the source material material in its truest form, but there's also some properties deserving of a remake. In my opinion, I believe the big three respectively would benefit greatly with one. One Piece has already been confirmed to be getting one later this year by Witch Studios, with the purpose of updating the outdated animation and greatly improving on its pacing. Tite Kubo has expressed how much he has wanted a faithful remake for Bleach. This trailer is such a fucking tease, openly sharing his strong distaste for the existing anime, and who can argue against him? The original anime hasn't aged well, and presents many issues. Unfaithful to Kubo's character writing, and the biggest offender, too much filler that is mixed into the canon material. And for Naruto, I'll be honest, parts of it haven't aged well, with heaps of filler in between. All three adaptations have slow pacing, outdated animation, and a huge amount of episodes. That a remake would fix the majority of these setbacks to mention before, would inspire newer anime fans to feel less intimidated to watch these highly praised series. And as stated before on this channel several times now, Dragon Ball is in dire need of a remake too. Not many have seen the original series, and they've remade Dragon Ball Z so many times now. What's to stop them from doing it once more? Obviously, the response to remakes can be split. Many people may just prefer the original. There are Hunter x Hunter fans out there who believe the 1999 anime to be the superior version. And basically every Berserk fan is in agreement that the newer version sucks. I haven't even seen or read this series, and even I can agree. And chances are the exact same cycle will occur when the One Piece remake releases. However, the point I'm trying to make with this is, not all remakes are perfect, and some end up doing more harm than good. Whether or not, I do believe they are worth checking out. Each adaptation offers a new, different experience for the viewer. An element is added through its visual storytelling, or added content not able to be adapted in the past. It's a great way to reimagine your favorite anime once more in a different light, or in the same charm, and potentially appreciate something new about the IP, to remember why you loved said series in the first place. They don't exist to replace the original and remove the nostalgia behind them. They exist to honor what made the predecessor so special, and to bestow it onto the newer generation for a similar response. Remakes are the safest bet for studios to make money, yes, but hey, it's at least done better than what other forms of media call a remake. It's also a great way to recommend if the reboot is worth watching or not. Point is, there are pros and cons to an anime being remade. It can bring valuable traction to a series many may have not heard of or forgotten about. It can give an opportunity to be more faithful to the author's intended vision or do something different. It can give a series a second chance. But the nostalgia factor may be too great that fans may not want it taken from them. To me, a remake isn't meant to replace or straight up erase the original. It's instead meant to offer something familiar or even new to the table. Some may vastly stray from the source material that it feels like they're not respecting it, and some may be too faithful it doesn't feel any different. And that's okay. Both outcomes are okay. I don't love or hate these remakes, but I certainly appreciate them. Discussing the prospects of anime remakes, remasters, or any kind can be quite fun. However, I doubt it's as fun as discussing the sub versus dub debate. Click here to see what I have to say on that.